Welcome in, everyone, to the High School Spotlight. I'm your host, Garrett Walvard. A hectic week with Hurricane Francine left thousands of Louisianians with flooded homes and without power. Dozens of football games were either rescheduled or outright canceled due to the storm. But as we always do, Louisiana rebounded from the hurricane and is moving forward together. On today's program, we'll highlight football games that still managed to kick off, including our LHSAA Network Game of the Week between Calvary Baptist and Neville. Later in the show, we'll turn the spotlight on some of the best volleyball teams in the state as they prepare for district play. Don't go anywhere. We're right back after this quick break.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
You likely won't find a hungrier team than one that loses in the state championship game. On Saturday night, a pair of state finalists from a year ago matched up in Lafayette, both ravenous for a win. Acadiana had lost a heartbreaker to Ruston in their season opener and couldn't stand falling to 0-2, while the Zachary Broncos were looking to prove they're one of the top teams in 5A despite returning just 4 starters. Let's head out to Cajun country.
Acadiana, known for their split-back veer, but on the game's first play, Caden DeBetta goes deep and finds his younger brother Colin for a 72-yard touchdown pass. Coach Matt McCullough and the Rams go up early. Next possession for Acadiana, Tayden Collins surges into the end zone for a 2-score lead. Zachary trailed 15-0 before coming to life. Quarterback Caleb Gonzalez tosses 10 yards to Trey Cheney, and the senior wideout sprints the final 40 yards to get on the board. Next drive, and Acadiana bites on the fake as Gonzalez could drive a tank through that hole. We're all tied up at 15. The Rams would answer as Jonah Gaucher hits the hole and races 16 yards for the score. Zachary at the 21, and DeVecchio Ruffin cuts inside and hits the gas, tying the game up at 22 as we go to the half. Ruffin, the senior tailback, slips through the defense again, giving the Broncos their first lead, 28-22. Acadiana's in danger of going 0-2 to start the year, but DeBetta on 4th down throws over the top of the defense to brother Colin. The fourth quarter was the Jonah Gaucher show as the senior ran wild for a pair of long touchdowns, including this 68-yarder that brought the fans to their feet. Gonzalez looking to move the chains, but senior corner Keeman Thibodeau jumps the route and intercepts his pass. Later in the fourth, Acadiana's line still working hard, and Jonah Gaucher has eyes for the end zone. You're not going to catch him. Acadiana wins their first game of the year.
So a game that was rescheduled because of a hurricane ended up with a rain delay, and through all of that, still provided an awesome finish for the Acadiana fans on Saturday night. When we return, a pair of Division I volleyball teams battle in non-district play, and later, more action from the gridiron. You're watching the High School Spotlight. Welcome back to the High School Spotlight. How about a volleyball match between city rivals to spice up our show? Parkview Baptist and University High both made playoff runs last fall, with the Cubs earning a top 10 seed under Benita Johnson. The Eagles were the number 3 overall seed and advanced to the state tournament semifinals. Here's an inside look at U High versus Parkview.
I thought our passing and service receive started off a little bit slow in the first set. a little bit unsure of ourselves, communication, who's taking what, and then going into the second set, you could see that there was a lot more communication on the court, a lot more aggression, and we kind of talked about, between the first and second set, just we need to be able to pass, serve, receive. If we can pass, serve, receive well, then there'll be plenty of balls that are first ball side outs. Of course, we have Yana Times. Everybody knows about Yana. She's jumping out the gym, and she's doing a phenomenal job. She's getting better and better every single week, which we absolutely love. We have a new libero, so Laurel Cassidy, who is a senior. We needed her to hit, and so we ended up putting Ava LeBlanc, who is also a senior, who did not see varsity time last year, and she's doing a phenomenal job for us as a libero. Just from what we do in practice and bringing it out to the court. Sometimes it takes us a little while to get started, but we eventually figure it out, usually within the set.
Wow, I thought this match was definitely a pretty tough game. Glad we were able to push through it. So proud of us for sticking through, especially after the first set. We were a little unfocused, but I'm glad we were able to get back in it. Oh my gosh, Laurel Cassidy, y'all. LSU commit, obviously she's good, right? Our setter, Aiden, she's come so far in the offseason and in the past few weeks that we've been going through this. And Marin Price, y'all better watch out. She is coming for you guys her senior year, y'all. I mean, even next year. Right now, she's already good, and she's just a freshman. Like, come on now.
Yana Times is absolutely incredible. Obviously, she can jump super high. Her strengths range really from her blocking and her hitting. She's got a great footwork. She's got great hops. And she gets up there, she sees an open space, and she's hitting it right there. I thought tonight's one was great. They came out with a lot of pressure, lots of energy. We just had to kind of get in system, get in rhythm. We were always coming out a little bit nervous, but once we find our rhythm and our tune, we're perfectly fine.
We have a young, experienced team, and so we're going to have some highs and some lows this season, and I'm hoping, towards the middle end of the season that we really have things together and we're on the up and up. And if we can do that, I think the sky's the limit for them. The first match we played this season, I really got a chance to see what we're capable of. And so if we can just keep getting better and better from there, we'll see what happens.
U High and Parkview have plenty of power at the net, and both programs look to contend for district titles in 2024. After the break, we'll see two state champions in football square off as St. Thomas More hosts Catholic High in a regular season game with a postseason atmosphere. This is the High School Spotlight.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
They missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
The 2023 Prep Classic saw St. Thomas More leave no doubt who the best team in Division II was, beating LCA 35-21 and winning their 4th title in 5 seasons. Catholic High also exerted their dominance, blowing out Acadiana 55-31 in Division I. The Bears and Cougars lined up in Lafayette on Friday night, and Spencer Barrett filed this report.
A wild one here at St. Thomas More between the Cougars and Catholic of Baton Rouge. The Cougars came into this game on a 25-game win streak. Catholic came in on an 11-game win streak. One of those had to fall tonight, and it would be a bloodbath to get to that result.
Cougars got the ball first, but Jacob Bradford's going to change that. He strip sacks Cole Bergeron, Maxwell Moore with the recovery. But the Cougars defense was going to fight back as well. Baylor Graves drops back to pass, looking for his receiver, but he finds Brian Broussard for his 5th interception of the season. Defense standing tall for both teams. Right before half, Graves finds Ryland Parker, and he barely hangs on, secures it, and he's out at the 1-yard line. Then just a few plays later, direct snap to Jaden Miles. Miles is going to push his way in for 6. Catholic on the board first. The extra point was no good. Bear Nation absolutely loving this. Something that they've been wanting for a long time is to beat the Cougars. Right before half, Bergeron's going to drop back to pass, trying to get the Cougars on the board, but he's going to find Leighton Welch instead. Doesn't take the ball too far, but that would be half. 6-0 Catholic leading. Bears would add an early field goal, but here come the Cougars. Gabe Mosick takes a run into the end zone, pounding over defenders, putting the Cougars on the board. Down now 9-7. Once again, Mosick's going to get the ball. After a Bears punt, Mosick's going to punch it around to the outside, and he is gone. Biggest run of the night for him, puts the Cougars up 14-9. And I tell you what, the Cougars student section was loving it. They could feel a win coming. Gabe Mosick was huge at the start of the second half, but Bergeron's going to have trouble with the snap. Ball's on the ground, and a host of Bears are there to grab it back. A key turning point late in the game. Bears have the ball now. Baylor Graves drops back to pass. He's looking deep, and he finds Amari Clayton in the end zone, brings the ball down, and now the Bears are back in front, 18-14. Last chance for the Cougars. He's just going to dump it off, and they will not have enough. The Bears take home the win, snap the 25-game winning streak of St. Thomas More. Let's hear from Coach Fuller and some of his players.
I mean, it's just always a great football game. I think the style of play of both teams, you really never know what you're going to get in terms of there have been some high score results, but at the end of the day, this is always 2 great football teams, 2 great coaching staffs, and so it's going to be a battle to the end.
Jacob Bradford had the key early interception, and on the last drive, they challenged Cole Bergeron to throw it deep. Bergeron was unable to, and their lockdown defense came through when needed.
Yeah, we wanted to force them to pass, but I mean, they were going to keep on sticking to the run. I'm not going to lie, Tua is a good player, but we try to challenge them to the pass and keep them down as long as possible, keep them in bounds. That's all we just try to do.
Yeah, I mean, incredible job by our defense. I think at the end of the day, a lot of guys playing man coverage tonight and being able to hold up just a collective effort of 11 guys finding a way. But really proud of that group. Through all the kind of highs and lows of the game, they stayed consistent. They went out there and tried to get a stop each time they got on the field, and they're a special group.
Quarterback Baylor Graves might have led the team in rushing, but no moment was bigger than his touchdown pass to Amari Clayton, which helped secure the win for the Bears.
We had an original play, and we saw the leverage of the safeties, and we checked it to the post and just threw it, and we connected, and it was big. So
it doesn't get easier for either of these teams. Next week, Catholic will take on crosstown rivals University Lab. St. Thomas More will take on Acadiana, who played Catholic last year in the Dome. Reporting for the LHSA Network, I'm Spencer Verrett.
So Catholic puts a halt to STM's 25-game win streak, and the Bears have now won 12 in a row themselves, dating to last season. St. Thomas More will host Acadiana this week, looking to get back to their winning ways. Coming up next, we head to Lake Charles for a 3A showdown between St. Louis Catholic and the Bunkie Panthers. This is the High School Spotlight.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The LHSAA Network, home to the best student athletes in the nation.
I truly wish we were able to get more into the student athlete as far as maybe some type of the way the games are shown, their backgrounds, not so much their home life, but just an idea of who they are. We need to publicize our kids a whole lot more, give them opportunities. I think Louisiana is one of the talent rich for any sport, you know, and as long as we're pushing academics, they can go anywhere in the world.
High school sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on one channel, the LHSAA Network.
Welcome back into the LHSAA Network studios. Hurricane Francine's earliest spaghetti model showed East Texas and the Lake Charles area in her projected path, forcing the rescheduling of dozens of games. Bunkie and St. Louis Catholic, who each won at least 8 games last fall, pushed their game back a day and were able to get the matchup in the books. Let's check the highlights between the Saints and the Panthers.
You're watching LHSAA Network!
Warwick Dunn Award watch list quarterback Dylan Compton starts the game off with a bang, tossing a 30-yard touchdown to Kane Milligan, who grabs a 50-50 ball at the goal line. The Panthers march right back down the field, but Compton is picked off by Matthew Hebert. The junior linebacker stops the scoring drive and gives St. Louis Catholic a chance to get on the board. Senior kicker Zachary Sagandi lines up for a 59-yard field goal, and he is money. The longest field goal in the state this season, and the Saints are in the scoring column. Kyle Johnson is a 6-foot, 165-pound scoring machine. He takes the quick pitch here and turns the corner off the far sideline. Johnson is a sprinter on the track and field team, specializing in the 100 and 200-meter dash. As a junior, he set the Bunkie single-season record with 10 touchdown catches last fall. Compton and the Panthers continue their aerial assault, targeting senior wide receiver Kyle Johnson, and the University of Houston commit shows great concentration, making the catch and sprinting the final 50 yards for the touchdown. Bunkie rolls 55-10.
I thought we played well today. Offensively, we made some big plays, which is a big part of what we do. Defensively, we took away the big play. So that's a category that we want to win every week. A little sloppy with some penalties, especially in the first half. We got to clean that up for next week.
Today's game, that no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, you got to go out and perform. I mean, obviously, I feel like personally we started slow, but we picked it up at the end, and at the end of the day, we competed. So I think that's the best thing. Physicality
is something that's really important to us. We hang our hat on that. Obviously, that starts with defense and setting the tone in the game. But we want to be, every team that we play against, we want to be the most physical team, and that's something that we preach every day.
Bunkie and quarterback Dylan Compton continue to run past the competition in 3A, though the Panthers' schedule heats up in the next few weeks. We'll keep the football highlights rolling after the break as Calvary and Neville take flight, and later we hit the gym with more volleyball right here on the High School Spotlight.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count, You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
No one ever thinks they'll be in this position. Buying medication online could put you here, or here, or here. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Medical professionals can't even tell the difference between a real pill and one that is fake. At least not until they do your autopsy. Don't take anything online that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Rolling right along here on the high school spotlight, Calvary Baptist won a titanic matchup in the Superdome last season as the Cavaliers battled the St. Charles Comets in Division III. Both teams were undefeated, and Calvary had to rally back from a 28-13 deficit, scoring 21 unanswered points to win. Most outstanding player James Simon ran for 190 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the All-State running back returns in 2024. Neville was the state's number 2 seed a year ago, but the Tigers were tripped up in the second round by Central. Coach Jeff Tannehill resigned, and defensive coordinator Mike Collins was promoted to head coach. Let's see if Neville is up for an early challenge on the road.
Ball at the 6, and senior running back Jalen Nichols rushes in for the Neville touchdown. Calvary quarterback Abram Wardell has a quick answer with a 30-yard touchdown pass to Colby Thomas. Big night for him. Next drive, guess who? Jalen Nichols on the carry. The 6-foot, 190-pound senior weaves in and out of traffic on his way to touchdown number 2. Nichols rushed for 148 yards on the night and strolls into the end zone. Cavaliers back in the red zone. Abram Wardell spies Braylon Huglin behind the defense, 13 yards for that score. Wardell buys himself some time and does it again. The senior's got to have 20/20 vision because that pass to Caleb Tucker is unbelievable. Sophomore quarterback Parker Robinson can sling it too with a quick pass to Caleb Vaughn, who evades one tackle and cruises into the end zone. The Neville defense would hold, and the Tigers back in the red zone. Robinson sees daylight and stretches for a rushing touchdown, putting Neville up 28-18. Trailing by double digits, Wardell finds Colby Thomas over the middle, and the 5'11 senior's ready for a 50-yard dash with Cam Riley in hot pursuit. Thomas shakes off contact for a 72-yard touchdown. Neville's Parker Robinson powers in for his second score of the night, putting the Tigers back up 11. Wardell to Thomas worked so good the last time, let's dial it up again. 75 yards on this catch. How about 242 receiving yards on the night for Thomas? Calvary going for 2. Most outstanding player from the Prep Classic, James Simon, and nobody got a hand on him. 3-point game. Wardell at midfield goes deep and drops a dime on Colby Thomas. First lead of the night for Calvary. Neville trailing 38-35. Robinson finds Jamarian Roberson, and the junior wideout turns it upfield for a 38-yard score. An emphatic win for Neville, 42-38.
The LHSAA Network Game of the Week did not disappoint as both teams combined for 11 touchdowns and 80 points. Neville puts an end to Calvary's 15-game win streak, and the Tigers head into this week's out-of-state matchup with Holmes County, Mississippi firing on all cylinders. We'll hit the volleyball court with Baton Rouge High and Madison Prep after this short break. Stay with us.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
The high school volleyball season's off to a good start despite the disruptive forces of Hurricane Francine. Baton Rouge Magnet High hosted Madison Prep on Tuesday night in non-district action. Longtime Bulldogs coach Dana Cohn is excited for the returning letter winners and the chance to return to the playoffs in 2024.
We have a very strong senior class. Everybody on the court. I have 8 returning players. They're all seniors. Number 2, Estrella Vasquez, is a senior for us. She is our setter. She is a determined athlete in execution of her own skills to make her team better. She does a good job of leading the floor, a good job of motivating them to keep the ball in play as well. And she's just a fierce competitor.
I'm so happy about our win. I feel like we had really great energy and it was genuinely so much fun. Today we definitely had Sophie Levine, Sophia Lorenas, Delia Mullins, Amelia Brass, like our middles, our outsides, and Mary, like our right side. They really did amazing at putting the ball in the right spots, and I'm really proud of them. I love playing with my team. They're my best friends on and off the court, and so I was so happy about the win.
Sophie Levine is a senior for us as well. She's a returning starter. Both her and Estrella are returning starters. She's done a really good job at controlling her swing on the outside hit in order to keep that ball in play and give us that opportunity. You know, they were playing a rotational defense, and it just helped us out to try to keep the ball away from that middle blocker as much as possible and put the ball in the center of the court.
I have high expectations. I think we're a really good team, and we have a lot of potential. I think as long as we just get our mindsets right and we have, you know, the right maturity level on the court, as long as we have the right mindset, you know, we can't get in our heads when we mess up. We just got to, you know, keep a positive attitude. We have a really special connection. All of us are, you know, we're like family. We're all like sisters.
We've been working a lot on our ball control and especially in our serve-receive positions. And I think we've done a really good job tonight coming out and executing those passes when we needed to and getting quality passes for our setter to do a better ball with.
Honestly, it's a good toss and just being calm. And honestly, whenever I'm back there, I feel like I challenge myself. So I'm like, I tell myself, are you really going to let yourself not do this? Are you really going to let yourself fail? Like, no, like go out and do it. I worked so hard for it. So that's, I guess, my secret.
This past year, she's worked really hard on just trying to get it right and just, you know, making it as powerful and as consistent as it can be. And yeah, I'm really proud of her because it takes a lot of work to get that consistent of a strong serve.
The LHSAA Volleyball State Championship returns to the Cajun Dome from November 14th to the 16th, and all the action can be seen on the LHSAA network. After this break, one of the most electrifying football players in the state steps into the spotlight. Kyrie Paul of Estruma is up next.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
Power Hour is the newest addition to the lineup on the LHSAA network, featuring in-depth interviews with former LHSAA coaches, student athletes, and Hall of Famers. Tune in every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. only on the LHSAA network.
Welcome back to the High School Spotlight, everyone. When Sid Edwards took over the Estruma football program last year, everyone knew the Indians would eventually field a winner. But Estruma's quick rise as a playoff team, including an upset win over Northside, had fans excited for year two. McKinley High is also under new leadership as Ron Allen was promoted to head coach after 4 years as an assistant. These two teams from the capital city matched up Friday night with hopes of staying undefeated.
Coach Sid Edwards has 195 career victories and 2 state championships on his ledger. Edwards' Estruma team is led by dynamite playmaker Kyrie Paul, who fakes a punt here and races 80 yards for the first score against McKinley. Paul reclassified as a senior, showing the maturity to graduate high school a year early, now eligible for college football next fall. McKinley is a run-heavy team under Coach Allen, who previously worked as an assistant at Livonia, helping the Wildcats win the 2013 state championship in 3A. Allen was also the last coach at North Iberville. Estruma's defense kept McKinley in 3rd and long situations for most of the half, piling up tackles for loss in the backfield. Kyrie Paul, who didn't play football for Estruma before last year, has taken to the game like a true savant. The 5'10", 175-pound speedster ran for 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns as a running back last season. Paul combined to return 6 kicks for touchdowns, earning all-state honors in 4A. Estruma goes for 2 after Paul's touchdown and converts, giving them a comfortable lead 14-0 in the first quarter. The Indians' defense has a run stopper and middle linebacker Jeremiah Coleman. The senior is 6 foot, 200 pounds, and stayed in the backfield against the Panthers. Estruma's offense averaged 33 points per game last year, going 5 for 5 in the regular season, finishing tied for 5th in district play with Bel Air. The Indians have been more explosive in 2024, averaging 41 points a night. Offensive coordinator Byron Wade, the former head coach at Bel Air, has diversified the offense for Kyrie Paul, who now starts at quarterback for Estruma. Paul has served as a corner, wide receiver, running back, and return specialist, and has received college offers from Louisiana Tech, Southern, Grambling, and a host of others. Estruma shut down McKinley 38-6 and now faces a gauntlet of 4 road games in a row. St. Michael, Tara, Landry Walker, and Bel Air all await the Indians. Coach Edwards' team is looking to capitalize on Kyrie Paul's speed and the resurgent defense that's allowing just 3 points per game on average.
Estruma rolls to victory and will try to go 3-0 for the 2nd year in a row, facing St. Michael later this week. Keeping in trend with new coaches, St. Aug and Robert Valdez traveled to Cecilia last week. We'll bring you highlights from this New Orleans and Lafayette area matchup right after the break.
Louisiana has Hall of Fame athletes in every sport. And now the newest wave of All-Americans have their own channel, the LHSAA Network, showcasing the best student athletes in the nation.
Anybody in the state know about 32 Minutes of Pain, the basketball, 32 Minutes of Pain. Girls and boys, the late Coach Dixon, Coach Kenneth Dixon, 32 Minutes of Pain is painted on the wall. They know as soon as they walk in the gym, they're getting pressed. Other rival schools, I was told practice with 7 players on the court for basketball to prepare for us for basketball. So if you say the statement 32 Minutes of Pain, everybody in the state know you're talking about home of Louisiana, Ellender basketball.
High school sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on one channel, the LHSAA Network.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
The vaunted Purple Knights of St. Aug in New Orleans have produced some of the biggest names in football, including Leonard Fournette and Tyrann Mathieu, to name a few. St. Aug hired Robert Valdez in the offseason, and the former championship-winning coach at St. James has the Knights off to a strong start. Cecilia was dominant last fall as well, earning the #2 overall seed and a trip to the Prep Classic. Quarterback Diesel Solari leads a veteran offense with high expectations after finishing as state runner-up to Opelousas.
St. Augustine and Cecilia weren't originally scheduled to play week 2, but both coaches able to get a game together, and it sure was a doozy. Plenty of offense, but not much defense. So if you're a fan of the defensive side of the ball, I'd look away on a few of these plays. Opening drive for the Purple Knights, it's going to be Keith Hill Jr., who glides past a couple of defenders and finds his way into the end zone for an early Purple Knights lead. The Bulldogs struggled with ball security, losing a fumble, and then we'll see Diesel Solari, the quarterback. He's going to drop back to pass, looking to give his team a spark. Throws it deep, looking for a receiver, but he finds Frederick Lewis instead with the INT, and it was 14-0 St. Aug at this point, and it certainly was going to get a lot tougher for Cecilia from here. A couple of plays later, Vachon Couillon finds Miguel Whitley for the deep connection, and it's all Purple Knights early. They missed the extra point, but it would be 20-0, and Cecilia was not happy, but they would not go away. 4th down coming up. Ellis Stewart fakes the punt, looks deep for Braylon Kale, and he finds him. Holds on to the ball through the hit. What a catch. Couple of plays later, Solari's going to hand it off to Kale again, and he gets the Bulldogs on the board. 20-7 now, but Couillon would not go away either. He finds Vershawn Sims Jr. wide open for the easy score as he just runs in, and St. Augustine would lead once again. They would extend that lead to 33-7, and it looked like the Bulldogs were out of it, but right before half, Solari finds Brent Gordon in the end zone, and it's 33-14 at half. Here's where things get crazy. Right out of the half, Purple Knights not slowing down. Couillon finds Raekwon Williams, who outspeeds all the Bulldogs on defense and puts up another score. But Solari and the Bulldogs would just never go away. Kickoff return here for Solari. He's going to find his way through traffic. Got plenty of blockers ahead of him. Stays on his feet, and he is gone. He gets into the end zone, and it's 39-20. Things got real interesting on special teams here. Cecilia kicks the ball off to St. Augustine. They think it's an onside kick coming up. No one's back to retrieve it. Ellis Stewart picks it up on the 1, and then the very next play, Braylon Kale once again finds his way into the end zone, and it is now 45-34, an 11-point game. Cecilia would kick the ball off then, and Raekwon Williams says, I'm going to take a note out of Solari's book, and he finds his way through a couple of defenders, and he is gone. Brings it all the way back for the score, and it would be Robert Valdez's men who get the win over Cecilia, 58-34. Let's hear from Coach Valdez.
The biggest thing we talked about the last 2 days, because it's 2 days notice, is coming in here and being able to surpass their intensity and their energy. I mean, this is a great atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they play hard. Those guys play tough. And being able to surpass their energy, surpass their effort, and all that was something we talked about. And, you know, if you can run the ball, you give yourself a chance. They got to dedicate extra people. So hats off to offensive linemen and the guys that, you know, did a good job. And we knew that it was hard to contain their defense. We knew that containing their defense, this guy don't stop. We knew that containing their offense was going to be hard, you know what I'm saying? Because that kid number 4, he's dynamic. I mean, I don't know who's on him, but he's definitely one of the best players I've seen at any level, you know. So just being able to come out here handle the road trip, handle the environment, and still be able to do the basic things well. Hats off to our guys.
St. Aug scores 9 total touchdowns and wins 58-34 at Cecilia. After 4 losing seasons over the last 6 years, quarterback Vershawn Coulon has Knights fans dreaming of better days for St. Aug. After the break, we close out the show with an electric atmosphere for the annual Amite River Classic between Central and Denham Springs. This is the High School Spotlight.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Our final segment of the High School Spotlight. For 9 decades, the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets and the Central Wildcats have faced each other in football. The two teams, separated by the Amite River, have made this matchup into a true rivalry over the years. After a 2-year pause due to the pandemic, the Wildcats hosted this season's edition of the Amite River Classic. Let's take a look.
The Central Wildcats host their home opener in front of a giant crowd, and our rivals come to town. The 75th all-time meeting with Denham Springs in the Amite River Classic is an early season test for the Wildcats. Quarterback Jackson Furman returns after a 1-week absence, and Coach David Semino's team came out hot in the first half. Furman threw 3 touchdown passes, including strikes to Kylan Thomas and Tyron Williams, putting Central up 24-0 at the break. In the second half, Furman's pass attempt is on target, but Rancher Miller steps into the route and forces the interception, returning it 20 yards and giving new life to the Yellow Jackets sideline. But Central's defense is not about to lay down. They're going to come to play as senior free safety Caden Loop jars the ball loose on this intended pass. Running back Marvin Joseph, who last week served as the Wildcats QB and helped lead Central to a comeback victory at De La Salle, churned for big yards in the second half and helped run the clock. The Wildcats made several trips to Denham's side of the field, but came away empty. The only blemish on the night for the special teams was a blocked punt, which eventually led to a scoring drive for the Yellow Jackets. Denham quarterback Jerry Horn was harassed all night as the Wildcats racked up 8 tackles for loss and 4 sacks. But Horn would eventually break through, tossing a back-of-the-end-zone pass to Caden Lewis to get his team on the board. With the Jackets still trailing 24-6, Horn continued to take shots, but credit the senior for continuing to get up. Central would force a turnover in the fourth quarter when Blazin Stoken read the quarterback's eyes and intercepted his pass at the 10-yard line. Stoken motored towards the far end zone, and when it was all said and done, he'd run the interception back 89 yards for the touchdown. The Wildcats survived a scare last week in New Orleans despite their quarterback, running back, and wide receiver being out for the game due to a car wreck. Against Denham Springs, Central's defense played lights out, while the offense started fast but failed to score in the second half. The rivalry trophy once again resides in Central as the Wildcats win it 31-6. All the goals the program set in fall camp are still attainable, and the season looks bright for Coach Semino's group.
It's great having the quarterback and the wide receiver back, Jackson and KT, and then have Manny on the sideline with us was super awesome, man. He just got out of the hospital, so proud to have him back on the sidelines with us. I thought that defense was stellar all night long. I thought special teams was a great point of emphasis tonight. Nathan Zimmer in the kicking game again came up huge. So, offensively we got a lot of stuff to figure out and work out. I didn't think we ever established a real consistent run game. We were kind of feast or famine on that side of the football. I was proud of some of the big plays we made. We just got to be more consistent.
It was really sloppy offensively. Defense did their job. They did every facet in the game. They played their hearts out. But offensively, we're just really sloppy tonight. And there's a lot that we could clean up. There's a lot that we could do better on. Running the ball a little bit more, completing some more passes. I think we were below 50% in completion percentage, and that's really on me. So I'm going to fix it, and we're going to get better. We play Walker, so we're 0-0 again. We don't keep record at Central, so we're 0-0 facing Walker.
75 years of playing football against each other, and a lot of families that know each other, and being right across from river from each other. A lot of these guys know each other, so it's a huge source of pride. So we're proud to be able to take it back home.
Central still has non-district games against state runner-up Cecilia and LCA, and will also play Zachary and Catholic in district. By playoff time, Coach David Semino's team will be tested and looking to make another run in the postseason. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We hope all of you are drying out from the storm and lending a hand when you can. We'll see you next week right here on the High School Spotlight.